Good morning and thank you for joining us for Unscripted on 13 Plus. I'm Carson Courier. Anna Orsini has the day off. Now we do want to begin with some late breaking news. Our very own Jack Cooper has been on scene of a fire burning in Cochise County, kind of between Benson and Whetstone in that area. He has been tracking this since early this morning. We know that the Arizona Wildfire Dashboard has labeled this the Lone Star Fire, and it's burning in the Whetstone Mountains right behind Kartchner Caverns State Park. We're going to go ahead and toss it to Jack with everything he knows right now.
This fire started about 7:30 last night, and Arizona State Parks confirmed to us that it looks like it was a lightning strike that started right around 7:30, and it was about 5 acres when they originally found out about it. It has now spread to about 120 acres. I want to show you what it looks like, and now that it's daytime, it's kind of hard to see some of those flames out there, but you see all of that smoke, so that means there are still flames. That fire line hasn't really moved really all morning, but you can see the burn part of the mountain, and it kind of goes past the mountain as well. So it's roughly 120 acres. There have been rangers out here and firefighters out here trying to get a better estimate on what they want to do, and they're hoping to get some sort of containment before this afternoon, hopefully before some of those winds start to pick up. Right now, still 0% contained. Now here's a look at the fire from last night and into this morning. You can see just how big those flames really were. You were able to see this from U.S. State Highway 90, and Coronado National Forest tells us that there are some rangers up there, some firefighters up there, just trying to figure out what they actually want to do next. There were no evacuations really all morning, no buildings that we can see that are really in danger. But again, that's why they want to get this at least partially contained before those winds start to pick up later today. As soon as we get any more information from the Whetstone Fire District or Coronado National Forest, we'll be the first ones to bring it to you. For now, reporting near Benson, I'm Jack Cooper, 13 News.
And we want to move along to a national story here. We've been covering it ever since it kind of started forming. Hurricane Beryl. We now know that the Midwest and Northeast are bracing for heavy rain, flash flooding, thunderstorms, possible tornadoes as Beryl continues to make its way north. Now, the video you're seeing, this is Texas. You can just see the amount of damage here in Houston. Roofs completely blown off. You can see parts of houses just ripped away, power lines down. So a huge mess there. We know more than 1.7 million customers in Texas are still without power this morning, depriving many of air conditioning during a dangerous heat wave. We know 48 hours after Hurricane Beryl made landfall on the Gulf Coast, this is what Texas is dealing with right now, which you can only imagine is just so much destruction here. We know the heat index in this area is actually going to reach around 106 today. People are urged to check on family members, their pets, and to limit outdoor activity, which is really hard because, as you can see in this video, someone walking out there just kind of surveying the damage, trying to see what's left after this horrible storm here with these disastrous winds. So cooling centers, they're open across the Houston area, but again, something that we're going to be following for quite some time as people pick up the pieces of their life. And in Indiana, take a look at this video. So a tornado actually started. It was created by the leftover tropical storm Beryl. You can see this actually touched down in Mount Vernon, Indiana yesterday, causing multiple power outages here and severe damage. You can see just how intense those winds are. Power lines being absolutely ripped from the ground here. The National Weather Service confirmed the tornado last night with wind speeds reaching 85 miles per hour. The storm uprooted trees, tore the roofs off of buildings, as I mentioned. Of course, those downed power lines, leaving people with no power and a lot of people without a home. Right now, flash flooding and tornadoes still possible from mid-Mississippi to the lower Ohio Valley. Lots of storm reports really across that entire region. But here at home, we want to take a live look outside to Mount Bigelow, looking gorgeous out there. We do want to tell you it is a first alert action day. It feels like we've been saying that for quite some time now. We want to bring in 13 first alert forecaster Allie Potter. So Allie, obviously we say this over and over again. We're like, it's hot, be safe. It's a first alert action day, but even though we continue to say this, people still need to take this very seriously and take action.
They They really do, and that's why we issue these first alert action days, because you literally need to take action. Dangerous temperatures, obviously, we're dealing with, and unfortunately, it can be deadly. And we need to stress that enough. I know yesterday we were talking about it a lot. Just use common sense. That's all it takes. Something so simple that we need to do. So that excessive heat warning still in effect. It will expire, though, this evening at 8 o'clock. This includes the Tucson metro area. So we're talking Tucson, Safford, Nogales, all the way up to our friends in the Phoenix area. Your out-the-door forecast, we're seeing 110 once again here. A little cooler than what we've seen, I guess, compared to yesterday, just by 1 degree, right? 104 by noon, 108 by 2, 109 by 4 o'clock, 108 by 6. Not much relief at all by 8. 103 still in the triple digits. Current temps right now, we're at 95 in Tucson, 88 Sierra Vista, 98 in Marana, 89 if you're in Safford. Douglas, we're seeing 83 degrees. So far, we've seen 42 triple-digit days. Notice 4 of those have been 110 or hotter. And as you see in the forecast, we're going to be adding a lot more to that total, unfortunately. So the rain, where is it? When can we see it? Well, I thought for sure there was a storm cell that was brewing yesterday over Tucson, and you could just see it, and you're going, it's coming. It's coming. It's right there. And then it just went, whoop.
Oh, I know. Anthony was working last night. My husband, he's a police officer for Oro Valley, and he even called me and he's like, "Is it supposed to storm?"
Right.
And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because it looks like it's going to
looks
storm
like
in
it
Oro
is.
Valley."
I know it does. And that he probably saw the dust. It was just really kicking up.
Yeah.
I was at the post office and I go, "Whoop, there goes my packages." The wind. And so we do have a slight chance for rain today, only about a 20% for Tucson. Your best chance for rain, though, will be in Cochise County. Here's around 4 o'clock, though, this afternoon. So the southern parts of Tucson, also in the Wilcox area, parts of Safford. Here's around 6 o'clock, Sierra Vista, Nogales, seeing those storms. Notice, though, Tucson really getting a pass on this. Tomorrow, a better chance for rain. Here's 5 o'clock, looking very promising. And we're in the middle of monsoon, obviously. So things can just literally take a turn, just depending on. So I feel like you can never rule out rain. You just can't. Even if the models are going, nope. I can't just put a 0%. Like, you just can't do that. So at least, covering yourself, giving everyone a chance. It's a 10%, but there's a chance always, right? So the storm cell's looking a lot better, though, tomorrow and through the weekend. Here's around 5 o'clock. Tomorrow, here's around 7 o'clock, moving its way, though, past Tucson, heading more so into the Nogales area. Spotty if you're in Sierra Vista, and our friends in Douglas, clearing out, though. But our best chance for rain is going to be heading into the weekend. Look at this. On Saturday, a 50% chance for rain, jumping up to 60, though, by your Sunday. As I mentioned, though, Cochise County having the best chance for those storms today. Triple digits, though, if you're in Wilcox, Sierra Vista, and Douglas. 96 for you in Bisbee. A 40% chance for rain for Bisbee, Sierra Vista, and Douglas. 30, though, if you are in the Wilcox area. Your 13 First Alert 7-day forecast includes 2 First Alert action days, and that's due to those dangerous hot temperatures that we're seeing. Excessive heat warning in effect through this evening. Honestly, I'm shocked that the National Weather Service has not extended that through tomorrow. But we're ahead of the game because those temperatures are literally the same. So that's why we're calling it a First Alert Action Day tomorrow as well, because those temperatures are still on the dangerous side there. A little bit of relief and possibly those storms. And that's kind of why I'm thinking the National Weather Service hasn't issued it, because those storms can cool things down. Because you have to be consistent for a little bit. And but Thursday looks good for those storms. This weekend, 50, 60, and a nice little cool down for us as well.
This is very exciting to
So
see.
get those coats out.
Right, 100 degrees, grabbing a coat.
Right.
I wanted to show you here. So on Facebook, Deborah actually commented. She said, "The air is heavy. I changed and cleaned all my inside filter units and my AC unit. They were
Oh my gosh,
dark
mine too.
Yeah, I know you were having issues with your air conditioning.
Oh, okay. It was
my
not the
goodness.
air filter, but this is a good reminder because the AC guy, the tech, was asking me. He's like, when's the most like recent that you've changed your air filter? And I told him, I was like, literally just days ago, you know, and he's like, okay, but he said that can literally just clog things up and then it just stops working. So it's also a good reminder, because that's the last thing we're thinking about is that air filter, right?
And
With your AC.
I mean, obviously living in the desert,
Yes.
the dust.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
You know, it is just, but yeah, that's a very, Deborah, that you're very correct. The dust
Yeah.
is horrible.
It's
But
awful.
you know, it's that time of the year where those winds
Exactly.
are picking things up, and life in
know.
the desert. But we love it, so we
We
can't
do.
complain though.
Especially if we get these storms coming up later this week.
Yes, so spoiled to that. So it'd be great.
Okay.
And a nice little cool down. So not bad at all. We
Yeah.
should be around 101 this time of the year. So
Okay.
we're going back to average.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Allie.
Yeah.
I do want to go ahead and talk about a regional story here, one that's here locally that we've been covering for quite some time. Of course, Eric Ridenour, he is back in court today. This is the third day of his trial. He's accused of setting fire to 2 Douglas churches last year. Yesterday, jurors heard what Ridenour's views were on women and homosexuals in church leadership positions. Ridenour has expressed the disapproval of them in positions of authority in the church. And in phone calls between him and his wife after his arrest, he's asked her to find scripture about women and homosexuals in the church. Ridenour said he wants them in court because, quote, the Bible needs to be defended. Whether my actions are defendable or not, it makes no difference, end quote. So he also asked his wife if one of the burned churches had a woman as a pastor. Prosecutors also showed a video where a blue Pontiac Aztek was parked next to the church when these fires happened. ATF testified that Ridenour owns the only one in Douglas. They also said that a man who looked a lot like Ridenour was seen when these fires first started. So we're going to continue to watch this throughout the day for you. We do have a crew in court documenting the very latest. So if you don't have our 13 News app, make sure to download it. We always send push alerts for breaking news or major updates on local stories. Also, we'll have the latest on 13 News coming up at noon and 3 throughout the day, throughout the evening as well. And then online, of course, kold.com. Now, we do want to take a live look here. So this is actually the location of the Baldwin trial, Alec Baldwin's trial. Of course, they just took a recess for lunch. We were going to listen in here, but we know that he's on trial for involuntary manslaughter following the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust. Oh, as you can see, I believe that they're back from their recess, so maybe we can listen in here. We know opening statements started a little more than an hour ago. The trial is happening in New Mexico, where filming was being done at the time of the shooting. In opening statements, prosecutors said Baldwin violated the cardinal rules of firearm safety. Baldwin's attorneys argued that shooting was a tragic accident and Baldwin was merely an actor playing his role at the time of the shooting. Now, you might remember the film's armorer has already been convicted and sentenced to prison. If convicted, Baldwin could face 18 months in prison. So, as you can see, it looks like things here are starting to get a little bit more action after their recess. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the volume up, see exactly what's happening here. We can listen in. If nothing's happening, of course, we'll keep watching this for you. We'll bring it back up once they do kind of reconvene. Well, as you just saw, oh no, I have to remute again. Anna and I always forget to do that. We just saw that they are kind of reconvening still. I believe everyone just came back into the courtroom. So we'll keep watching it for you. If anything major happens, of course, we'll be sure to update you both on air and online. And we do want to tell you about a scam that's really been going on across the country here. So the FBI has issued an alert after receiving thousands of complaints about fake road toll collection service texts. Reporter Carice Jackman sits down with the Better Business Bureau on what to look for with this rising scam. We're going to go ahead and toss it to her.
Families will be busy this summer hitting the roads, which means in some cities and states, you may come across a toll. But before you respond to a text message asking for payment, the Better Business Bureau is warning drivers to beware of a growing scam.
We've noticed a couple of reports to our scam tracker where people were given a link to pay a toll, and they were actually on the toll road, so they're thinking, okay, maybe I do owe this money. But when they got to the point of paying, they're like, this doesn't seem right.
No state is immune from this fake toll scheme. The BBB found scammers are texting people, claiming to be toll road collectors from numerous states, including Florida, Tennessee, Michigan, and New York.
Do you think they're using tolls as a way of fear tactic to get people to give them what they want?
Absolutely. If you don't pay tolls, they have a picture of your license plate, which leads to your registration. They say, your license could get suspended, your registration could get suspended. So if you're driving with a suspended license or registration, that is a fear in and of itself of, okay, I've got to pay this toll. What was it, $1, $2? But then you're giving them your credit card information. So that's where the fraud could start.
McGovern encourages people to always check the BBB scam tracker at bbb.org to see if other people are reporting the same text language or number. Also, verify your outstanding toll balance with a legitimate agency. Instead of clicking on the link in the text message, go to your web browser, find the toll service's actual website, and log into your account to check if you have any outstanding toll bills. Another way you can verify is by calling the toll service's customer service line. But remember, do not call the number that was sent to you via the text message.
I know it's hard to tell now because a lot of them are cashless, they're above you, they're around there somewhere. So just thinking about it is really important. How did they get my number? Absolutely checking with the toll agency is the best way to start.
So before you drive this summer, familiarize yourself with the state's toll roads you may be passing through so you don't get tricked from a fraudulent text. With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
And we do want to go ahead and turn to a lighter story on our website here. So meet Rosie. She is so sweet. She's the perfect cat for anyone out there. Oh my goodness, just what a sweetie. So Rosie is a calico cat with no eyes, as you can see. Still such a beautiful girl. As a kitten, Rosie had an infection in both eyes that actually led to them having to be removed. She was adopted in Myrtle Beach, Virginia by a woman who runs the state school for the deaf and blind. So Rosie's owner says, just like humans, Rosie's other senses are extremely heightened. She says Rosie is sensitive to new sounds and follows sounds so well. She sometimes wonders if she really has eyes. This is the sweetest thing ever. Oh my goodness. Talk about the perfect owner too. If you want to read more about this, again, this is on our website, KOLD.com. All of these fun stories, if you just go to our website, click news, go to national, you'll see all of these stories from really just around the country, different gray stations or sister stations from different big cities that have all these feel-good stories, also just interesting stories too. So again, KOLD.com, everything you need to know. Also, this story right here, Rosie is just the sweetest. We love to see it. We'll go ahead and end with a live look outside this morning. It is a First Alert Action Day, as Allie Potter was saying, so make sure that you take action. You're super safe, you're smart, you're not outside for too long, you're drinking lots of water, electrolytes as well, making sure you wear sunscreen if you are outside, and checking in on those folks that might not be as lucky to have air conditioning or a place to go. So again, First Alert Action Day. Hopefully we see some storms later this week and into this weekend. That would be so nice. But thank you all so much for watching. I believe Anna Orsini will be back tomorrow. So make sure to tune in to Unscripted on 13 Plus. This show starts every day at 9:30.